d3, that reminded me that I think there was a moment where if you played king f4 for white, then king d3 wasn't possible because the bishop was all the way on c2. Might have been drawn.
Dip to +1 or so, which is in an opposite color bishop endgame basically means draw.
Indicative. Yeah, exactly. It trusts the eval. Can be down like, sometimes upwards of 2-3 pawns and still make a draw.
Right. Now there's some pretty famous games. Yeah. I mean, as long as you're blockading all of the pawns at the same time, it's very hard to make progress. Now here we have a different kind of Rossolimo, same variation, but completely different type of position, even though Fabi has still managed to play f5.
Yeah, but I think Wesley, he did his damn homework. I mean, yeah, you don't want to be dealing with the position that he's been dealing with the entire match so far. Much better decision by him. And yeah, Fabi's got f5 in, he's got the open file, but 10 times better for Wesley.
This position greatly resembles a French, like a Tarrasch French with a structure, except white has a bishop on g2, which is pretty unusual. I kind of like it though. And after bishop f4, yeah, the whole point is that white is slowly but surely clearing off the e5 square, which is going to be a problem, and black often just needs to play very actively to compensate for that.
Yeah, and if queen b6, just remember that you're not necessarily threatening to take the pawn on b2. Rook b1, rook b7, white gets the much better end of that deal. So I wonder, after queen to b6, how does white actually deal with the d4 pawn? That's
the pawn you want to try to defend. And Fabi has the same question. I mean, obviously you could go knight e5, which she just did. But after knight takes e5, I think you have to take with a pawn. And I don't know if that's a positive development for white.
Right, because I don't think there's any brilliant sacks on d5. And if not, black's, I think, pretty happy with that.
Yeah, black's got the protected passer, but still white has this general clamp on black's position due to the e5 pawn.
Hang on, there was bishop d5, wasn't there, in e6? I was saying there wasn't any brilliant sacks. Maybe there was.
Boom, boom. I don't know if I'd call this brilliant, though, so I think you're correct. You meant that there was a sack, but it just wasn't brilliant.
Yeah, chess.com insights, game review. Hell no, that's not getting brilliant.
It's an okay sack, yeah, and then
average.
That leads to messy consequences. Wesley playing very quickly this game. Again, he's up a minute. But I like what Fabi's doing here, getting the knight around back to c6. Potential, although their bishop takes d5 and e6 might be very strong.
Dare you say brilliant?
Brilliant, yeah, exactly. That was a low-hanging fruit I could have picked off.
g5, very concerning here. So he's gaining time at the moment, but okay, the threat is always going to be there. g5.
Queen b4 actually might be a very annoying move, forking the pawn and the knight. Oh, wait, what am I saying? You're not attacking the knight.
Brilliant.
But queen b4 is still a very good move because you're actually going to d6.
And after bishop c6, which defends b7 and defends the knight, black deals with the threat.
Do you know why I made this mistake? Because I was calculating a line where the rook gets to f2, and the interference from that caused me to think the knight is hanging.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
a great move anyway. Your instinct.
A second order Botez gambit, right? You say that the queen threatens to capture something that's defended.
Yeah. Cannot trade. I mean, it's just not an option. Queen b7 takes on e6.
g5 is becoming very much a growing concern. The problem is, okay, queen c5 is a very careful move, and after the queen trade, white definitely doesn't have nearly as much to worry about on the king side. Also, g5 is almost always going to be met with knight h5.
Yeah. This is quite dominant here for white, but there's still some tricky things in the position for black.
There it is.
Ooh.
Better late than never.
Yeah, knight g6. Be careful because your knight's not coming back out.
Okay, so it's going to be another exchange stack. Now, technically, black is up material, 2 pawns for the exchange, but look at how these 2 pawns are totally held back by white's rook. The g5 pawn is weak, and white's rooks are extremely active. So without a doubt, Wesley is in the driver's seat here.
And you take that king for black, put it on d6, where it's near all the pawns, can help them advance. That's a totally different story. Ooh,
Bishop b5, aiming for
that's
some
tricky.
checkmate ideas here.
Do you sacrifice? You just sack it. Yeah, I think this is pretty practical.
Yeah, it's a great practical choice because Black's got all of these incredibly weak pawns remaining. He's also got 17 seconds. I don't see Fabi holding this.
No. Rook e5, rook d6, still strong next.
Okay, g4, rook f4. That's a great move, though.
G4, rook f4, rook g6.
Ah,
just
like this pawn. King f7. Why is the eval bar so...
yeah, why? Hey, come on, where's my credit here?
Right, it's just chilling. I mean, rook f5 comes very close to winning, but that's probably a draw. Yeah, maybe it's just... Okay, so he takes... Yeah, Wesley banking on the fact that he is cutting off White's king, Black's king, which is going to make it harder for Fabi to hold this pawn. Ooh, I don't know about that one. King d4. King d4, there's rook g2, so...
But king d2 looks like the one. King c1.
Yeah, I don't like...
Then you can, yeah. This
Fabi has just helped Wesley get rook b5. Rook b5 was more accurate, but this is gonna... This should be winning.
Yeah, there's rook d8, rook d8. That's going to be a win, and a big win at that for Wesley here.
It's gotten